All right. So we're gonna do Atlanta. Once again, we're hitting every team 30 minutes. Hit subscribe. We knocked out the T-Wolves and the Warriors last night, so we'll do Atlanta tonight. Atlanta, this is a team. I'm super high on Atlanta just with Trae Young in general. I think I'm the only person that follows the NBA that doesn't think that this Luka Doncic, Trae Young discussion is over. Like, and I'll discuss this more when we talk about the Mavs, but
it's over.
I'll discuss this more.
This season, Atlanta Trae Young gonna do 30 and 10, and the gap between him and Luka gonna widen. It's over.
You see the thing about Luka to me, and I'll talk about this with the Mavs. Like he's a great young player. Like no disrespect to him.
Probably the best we've seen at his age.
But no, I think that's crazy. But he reminds me of what Russell Wilson is this year. It's like Russell Wilson, they came into the season saying he's the MVP. He's the MVP. And it's just like, fam, can he earn it at least? Like, y'all just want to give him this award? And I think
like Luka, huh?
It's the same thing with Luka. It's just like he's
they're doing the same.
He's a top 5 player of all time. Like, what has he done yet? Like he was the 7th seed. Like what are you guys talking about?
Everybody's high on Dallas, bro. Everybody's high on Dallas. Like Porzingis not even healthy. Everybody loves Dallas.
Everybody loves Dallas. So we bring it back to the Hawks, but I don't see how the discussion is over if everyone's comparing Luka to LeBron.
Cam Reddish can't shoot.
Cam Reddish, but
Cam Reddish.
Okay, let's start with Cam Reddish.
He's the only one that can. He's the only one that can turn this whole conversation. Like Luka Trae is gonna be Luka Trae. That's gonna be a wide gap. Trae is still a small boy. So at the end of the day, small boys don't do nothing. Luka at his size and his height, Luka has what LeBron has. Like they control the whole game, the whole tempo of the game. That's all Luka. So Luka and Trae Young, man, that's a wide gap. But,
I don't.
Reddish,
If Trae becomes Steph Curry, if Trae is Steph Curry, then Steph Curry 2.0, then why is the discussion over? He's a 3rd-year player, and we know with guards that are not athletic, the guards like Steve Nash, even Steph Curry. It takes time for the non-athletic guard, Dame Lillard. These are guys that they make jumps because when you don't have the athleticism, you have to get the feel of the game more. So smaller guards that don't have the athleticism, it takes time for them to come on and move. So if Trae Young becomes Steph Curry or even another level of Steph Curry, then how is the discussion over? I just don't see how.
Because Luka gonna become another level of LeBron.
You see, everyone says that, but with LeBron, and I'll give you an example. Like they say that he could be on that Mount Rushmore of player, but he doesn't have the athleticism, especially on the defensive end. Like at the end of the day, he might end up topping out like a league average defender, right? But if you're gonna compare him to LeBron, you got to put in the fact that in year 17, 18, he took out Murray. He took him out. LeBron in Miami took out Derrick Rose. Luka,
he's not LeBron.
He doesn't have this ability. You guys are just telling me, oh, nah, he there. 7th seed. It's just been a 7th seed. It's the MVP.
Luka was in year 2. The jump that Luka is about to make to year 3 after the postseason he had against the Clippers. I mean, Luka is here, man. Like, you cannot deny it. Like what Luka does leads to winning. What Trae Young does, so results, man.
I don't know if you can say that one results to winning and one doesn't because we've seen such a small sample size with guys being healthy. The gap between the coaching that Luka's had and Trae Young's had has been wide. Not saying that Lloyd
If
Pierce
you
is a
take
bad
if
coach.
you if you if you take Luca off of that roster last season, did you think Dallas would be the number one offense in the league?
No, they would not have been. But what I'm saying is, I
Like
think
how did that happen?
that happened with him. But I agree. But Dallas has been an offensive juggernaut type team on multiple occasions with Carlisle. This has been one of Dirk's last years when they were the 7th seed and they brought in Rondo. Remember, they were a great offense. Like we have to give Carlisle his flowers in this perspective. So you compare the coaching gap between Lloyd Pierce, who's a young coach. I'm not going to knock him, but he's still a young coach. And then the other talent that Atlanta had, and this is why I'm so excited by Atlanta because they have NBA talent. Like they run 10, 11 deep of NBA style players now.
The Hawks just out of nowhere look like a legitimate team, like just out of nowhere. They adding to that team.
Yeah.
They adding Clint Capella.
Uh-huh.
They adding Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Mm-hmm.
They adding what's it called?
Onyeka in the draft.
Onyeka, yeah, got Onyeka in the draft. They got Rondo.
Got
They
Rondo.
got Chris Dunn. And they got Danilo Gallinari.
And they have
that's seven. That's like 7 guys they adding, like 7 NBA guys.
And that's not even talking about Collins. That's not even talking about Huerter. That's not talking about Hunter. Cam Reddish.
Talking about Reddish.
Yeah, I'm talking about even Tony Snell is an NBA level player. So I think they might even have a problem. They might even have a problem that they have too many players. I think that they got Zach Lowe reported it that they got the edict from up high that the ownership wants to start making the playoffs. They want to make a push this year, and I think Schnellick, I think he probably had a plan and it probably got rushed a little bit, but I think he might have added too much, which is good because once again, they could be a trade target. This is another team that I tried to do Blake Griffin trades to. But they're just.
Would you trade Blake if you got Collins? Collins is 20 and 10 on 40% from 3. Like Collins is like a mystery, you know what I mean? Like NBA fans don't know. You stumble upon it, you're like, wait, 20 and 10 on 40% from 3? It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta see if he if he empty calories, good bad tire, can he actually contribute to winning? Like will he do stuff that's needed from his position to win the game? So
yeah,
the game is 35. Gallo coming off the bench, so I'm guessing they're gonna start Cam Reddish for Hunter at the 3 for defense.
So give me your 5 for them. Who's starting 5? Who's the 5 for them?
Trae Young, Bogdanovic, Hunter, Collins, and Capella.
Yeah, and the reason why I was thinking about a Blake Griffin trade for them is because they have a lot of players, and I mean they have a lot of different skill sets. But I think that Blake Griffin gives them some downhill, like pick and roll. He's someone that can still dive. He's someone that can get some baskets in the post a little bit, and I think right now they're too jumper. It's too much. Everybody's pretty much a perimeter player. But Collins is someone that is interesting because he I didn't know he shot that many threes at that high of a clip. Like he's just someone I've never really even seen. His stats is crazy. like
he has a game, man. He has a game. We watched him play. He has a game.
So
he's good.
And I liked Hunter. I like not Hunter. Excuse me, Huerter. I liked him a lot when I watched him play.
I like Huerter, Reddish, and Hunter. I like all 3 of them.
Hunter, I don't know what his game is. offensively, I don't know what his game is. He looks like he's athletic, but once again, we talked about it the other night about the players working on his game. It's been almost a year since we've seen all of them. The guy that I'm sky high on is still Reddish. Like, I think Reddish is like Zach Lowe does Luke Walton All-Stars. Like, to me, Cam Reddish is a Steve Nash All-Star. Those are like players that have like a jump in them that no one is expecting. Like, I think he could be like a top 10 player in the league type player. Like, and his pedigree says that. Like, when he was in Duke, he played with Zion and Barrett, and a lot of people were saying he's the best player on the team, and he's been hurt. Like, I remember you sent that clip of the AAU players, the top AAU players, all sitting in a round table, and they asked them who's the best one, and they all said Cam Reddish. They all, no doubt, Cam Reddish. So, he's been hurt. Like, you talked about his jumper, he had the wrist situation because coming into college, he was seen as a shooter.
But he didn't shoot well in college.
He didn't shoot well in college either, but
he hasn't shot well in the pros.
I think him not shooting well in college is more of a product that, because I do not like big threes. We've talked about this in the chat all the time. Like, I think the third guy always gets marginalized, and I think at Duke he got marginalized behind Zion. I mean, no one expected Zion to be Zion. And Barrett was like the de facto point guard. So he was the third guy. He was sitting in the corner. And I just think that just took him out of rhythm. So, which kind of concerns me for the makeup of this team now, because he's going to go back into that kind of role where he's going to be fighting for minutes and shots. But, he's going to just we'll have to see what his personality is. There's so much of, being aggressive enough to try to take over the mantle. But, they are.
We got to see how much they play these guys too, though.
Yeah.
Like, are they gonna play them a lot or not? Because they got the new guys now.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be surprised if Rondo doesn't really play that much. Like, he's someone that people are thinking, he's on a team and they paid him a good salary. But I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in the regular season, he's like more of a de facto like coach than actual.
No, I think they're gonna bring him in to be the backup point guard. I think they want him to develop that unit, that unit with all those young guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Rondo's for. So
yeah,
I want they're gonna play Rondo and Dunn at the same time. Like,
yeah.
Rondo's offense took a jump though. Like, he started shooting more.
Yeah, he's more confident in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's like
his shot low key look good every time, man.
Yeah, it does.
It look good every time. I used to be like, no, yeah, pour that dog.
Yeah, so I think, definitely that he's like someone, if you remember, like him on the Celtics, he's someone that gives you hope for Ben Simmons, because if Ben Simmons just even gets to that point, then it's a whole different world. But back to the Hawks, I actually liked when I saw that they signed Dunn. This is before they got Bogdanovic. I was happy. I thought maybe he could start at 2. He's a perfect complement.
I was thinking he starts at the 2 and Bogdanovic starts at the 3.
Yeah,
that's also an option.
Yeah, because he's a perfect person to put opposite of Trae Young. You can hide Trae Young.
Bro, Reddish might just have one of them crazy off seasons.
Yeah.
Like him and Hunter might be like, no, it's our turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like they gotta, boy, they could score the ball, man. Yeah. You got Trae Young, Zach Collins. You got Trae Young, you got Collins, you got Gallinari, you got Brogdon. Like, those guys are all scoring 15 plus.
Yeah. Yeah, so my whole issue.
And then Capella scores too for big. He's at least 12 points.
Yeah, the thing that's the thing I wanted to talk about is next is Capella. Like, where does he fit in this whole scheme of thing? Because like he's the
5.
But they drafted Onyeka. So
yeah, he's a backup. Onyeka kind of small too. He's like a 4. He's a small ball. He's a small ball 5. He's 6'9".
But maybe they see him as more of like a Bam type like that. He's undersized, but he could play the center position. So
Not
that's
initially. Like,
not
I
initially.
think like
You're
for
right.
now he'll probably play like backup 4, backup 5. Like I don't think he's ready yet.
Yeah, you're probably right. And
He's gonna be real good though.
yeah, Capella, his contract, I looked at it, is very tradable. Like he's not the same player that he once was. I've seen a lot of people mention that. Like athletically, he looks like he's dropped off a bit, but he hasn't really played in a system like this where it's going to be so much, because you could put a lineup where it's like 4 shooters and just him as the dive man, and that's what interests me in probably getting Blake, because you could run a offense like that, put 4 guys around Blake and him just the dive man, and you could just do like Washington did last year and say, man, we just going to try to outscore you. But yeah, it's going to be
They
interesting.
could do that with Collins at the. You can put Collins at the 5, Gallo at the 4, Bogdanovich, Reddish, and Hunter. Like
But you were talking
I
about
mean,
it.
or with Trae. Like it's just a lot that they can do, man.
But
They can do a lot.
you were talking about this in the group, because you said with all these signings, they're probably gonna have to trade Collins. So what trades do you see for him? Do you
That's the thing. I don't see a trade for him.
yeah,
Like
because
he's one of those players that he's good, but it's like, man, like who's trading for that? Like yesterday with Cat, like who's trading for Cat?
hmm
Who's trading for Kyle? Like nobody.
yeah, I mean,
I can't
because
see nobody trading for him.
he's gonna
I
command it.
honestly feel like he got to prove it this season. Like this is the season that his team is gonna try to decide what he is. So this is the
Mm.
season that really counts for them.
Yeah, because with the Gallo contract, I've never been a big Gallo fan, and it always seems like he kind of flutters out at the end of the year. It's a tradable contract. I think the last year is like not partial guarantee for like two or 3 million. So you pretty much just trading this year and the next one. So I wouldn't be
All
surprised if
the blog boys love Gallo, bro.
yeah,
Ooh,
I
they
don't
love
see it.
Gallo.
Like with OKC versus Houston last year, he pretty much he no showed it. He no showed it.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's just like, and
That's true.
he no showed it with the Clippers the year before. He just he no shows too much. Like I don't see what the excitement about him, especially as like a player, maybe as a regular season player, that makes sense, because they're just trying to make.
He probably make threes again. You know, you shoot threes, they like you. That's all it is.
Yeah. So most important player for them. Who do you have as the most important player for the Hawks?
I'm gonna say Cam Reddish, only because Cam Reddish really takes their ceiling to a whole nother level. Like
Mm.
if Cam Reddish is who he's supposed to be, then he starts at the 3. And if he's who he's supposed to be, then his team is dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I would say him, but I also want to say Trae Young, because another thing, and I keep name dropping the Low Post podcast, but this point was really interesting. He said that there's been some murmurs in the league that people don't want to play with Trae Young because he just holds the ball, and it's almost like playing with Harden. And it was a big thing that players signed there to kind of dispel that before it became big in the zeitgeist in the league. And like this is a big year for him to show who he is. Like he was mad last year because every time someone mentions up Luka, they mention him. So like I think there's a jump in his game. Like offensively, I don't know if he could be the shooter that Steph is, but I think he could be.
He could be more efficient.
Yeah.
Like what I want to see with him this year is like I want to see him off the ball.
Uh-huh.
Because now with Bogdanovich, with Gallo, you got players that can run, screen, and roll. Like you can play off the ball. That's what Steph's main attribute is. What he does off the ball, man. Like
Yeah,
that
he's
just kills
around.
you.
Your defense gets messed up. Yeah, I think because I think he's a better passer, like natural passer than Steph too. So
Right. All right.
I want to see if there's a jump that he can take, because like I said, I might be the only person in America who thinks this, but I don't think that debate is over. So we'll see about that.
I love Trae, man. I love Trae Young. I love Trae Young. But Luka different. Luka different.
We got to do Dallas. You know what? We'll do Dallas tomorrow. We'll do Dallas tomorrow. I got a diatribe.
Luka different, bro.
About this. So, all right. Who is your most intriguing player on the team?
Most intriguing player, I'm gonna go with Onyeka Okongwu.
Yeah, his rise in the draft is kind of crazy because I remember listening to Gavoni, Jonathan Gavoni, the ESPN draft guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I would take him over Wiseman," and I was like, "What?" Because that's Wiseman. I had heard about Wiseman for 2 years now, and he was just like, "Yeah, he's a more physical player. He's hungrier."
I actually thought he was going, depending on who got the number one pick, that he was gonna go number one.
Yeah,
I actually thought he was the safest player in the draft.
yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. I'm intrigued by him.
Like it's easy to see what it is with him. You know what I mean? It's easy to see what skills don't translate. So
yeah,
he's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, not just no to carry lust, but my most intriguing after him would be Hunter. Like he's kind of a guy that can get lost in this pretty quick. Like when they drafted him, and I saw his highlights. Like I don't watch draft stuff, but like background and study guys myself. But I didn't really see no skills to him. And like his thing is like he's a great defensive player. He's 6'9", long as all hell, like the Jonathan Isaacs type mode. So I want to see like what comes out of this. Like, has he worked on his game at all? Does he get buried? Because I think one of those three guys, Reddish, Huerter, or him, one of them is probably going to get buried in the bench, and they're probably going to have to trade.
What's his season? What's his season high?
Yeah, let me pull him up and see because
let me look that up. I'll look it up real quick. You keep talking. Let me see what he did, man.
Yeah, so he's someone because that's what everybody says. Like his the big thing with him is his defensive ability. Like he's supposed to be Jonathan Isaacs 2.0. But every time I watched him, he just looked lost offensively.
12 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yeah, that's not bad actually. That's not. But I mean, you can't really count their games, especially part of the season. Like they weren't fielding an NBA type roster. But like I said,
he shot 30. He shot 36 from 3.
36 from 3. I mean, that's not bad.
On 5 attempts.
Yeah, that's not bad. So
it's not bad at all.
Yeah, so I'll be interested to see what he becomes because if I like I said, I'm a monster Cam Reddish guy. Like I have all of his stuff. So I believe he's gonna make the jump. I liked what I saw out of Huerter as a shooter. So if all three of them come back as better.
All right, so the game December 10th against the Miami Heat, DeAndre Hunter scored 28 points.
Yeah, I would have to look at that. The good thing
5 or 10 from 3.
The good thing about the league now is like you can go on YouTube and almost everybody has a highlight clip package.
Each game.
Yeah, you can watch.
Like you just type the name. Yeah. You type. All I do is just type the name of the game.
Yeah.
And I see exactly everything that player did that game.
Yeah, that like they do a really good job of, and I think that's why. And you would think with that, you would think that the NBA analysis, in general, will get better. But I don't really like after Zach Lowe and Arnovitz. I don't really like anything that's out there.
Like after Legler, that's it.
Yeah, Legler is good, but
Legler's the only one that actually talk basketball.
So
everything else is just is so and so gonna sign with this team or
they're
so and so want to be traded. That's all the analysis you get for basketball.
Yeah, that's real
you
talk.
Want something else, you gotta wait till Legler come on.
So playoffs or not?
Yeah, playoffs.
Playoffs, like a firm playoff seed or a playing game playoff seed?
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna be 7th or 8th or I don't know 6th. I don't know. I can see them in a play-in or not. I don't know. I see them as a playoff team though.
Okay.
They're one of the
Yeah,
top 8 for sure.
I see them as like a 6 seed. I see them as a team that's so good that they don't even have to worry about it. The only thing with them is COVID. Like it's gonna be a young team, um, and it's Atlanta that they live in. So like Atlanta wide open. So it's gonna be like I don't know how the nightlife policies are, and
They probably don't have it already. You never
yeah,
know.
that's true. They probably didn't had it already. So yeah, that's just a big thing. But they're so deep that I think they're one of the teams that could survive a COVID hit and still stay
Mhm.
up with water because they're so deep. So yeah, I definitely
Mhm.
have them as the playoffs too. So I think yeah, we coming up on yeah. So um that's pretty much it. Do you got anything on the Hawks before we end it out?
No, that's just one of my teams to watch this season. I
Yeah.
want to see a lot of the games.
Yeah, I mean, like you said it before, like every team in the league has some interest. Like I heard, I listened to Bill Simmons the other day. He was crying about the Harden trade, asking for a trade, crying, what does this mean for the future of the league? And this is just bad for the league. Like, this shit is ridiculous. But we talk about that when we talk about Houston. But um, I was thinking, I was like, man, the league is in a great place. There's every team. I want to watch every team. Every team has like a young,
It's in a
like
great place.
like even the Bobcats. They have LaMelo Ball. I want to see what he looks like.
Right.
I want to see what this.
I want to see what
I want to see
I
what
want
this
to
is
see what
about.
LaMelo and Hayward look like.
Yeah, I want to
I
see what this is about.
want to watch it.
Yeah, so it's just I think the league is in a
Every team got something you want to see.
see.
Every team.
Yeah, every team got something you want to see. So I definitely want to see what's up with Atlanta. So yeah, all right. So we go ahead and close it on this. Definitely hit subscribe. We're gonna hit some more teams. Do all 30 teams, 30 themes, 30 minutes. All right, thanks, Obi. I appreciate it.
All right, bro.